Members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to testify before you this morning. My name again is Rick Smith, and for the last 12 years I've had the honor of serving as chairman and CEO of Equifax. As noted, I have submitted written testimony which addresses the details of my testimony in far more detail than I'll get in my oral comment. I've talked to many consumers and I've read their letters. I understand how frustrated and fearful many Americans are about what happened at Equifax. This criminal attack took place on my watch, and I take full responsibility as CEO at the time. I want to say to every American, I'm truly and deeply sorry for what happened. Americans have the right to know how this happened, and I'm prepared to testify today about what I learned and what I did about the incident in my role as CEO and chairman of the board, and also what I know and what I've learned about the incident as a result of being briefed by the company's investigation, which is ongoing. As we now know, this criminal attack was made possible because of a combination of a human error and a technological error. The human error involved the failure to apply a patch to our dispute portal in March of 2017. The technological error involved a scanner which failed to detect the vulnerability on this particular portal, which had not been patched. Both errors have since been addressed. On July 29th and July 30th, suspicious activity was detected. We followed our security incident response protocol at that time. The team immediately shut down the portal and began our internal security investigation. On August 2nd, we hired top cybersecurity, forensic, and legal experts, and we notified the FBI. At that time, we did not know the nature or the scope of the incident. It was not until late August that we concluded that we had experienced a major data breach. Over the weeks leading up to September 7th, our team continued working around the clock to prepare to make things right. We took 4 steps to protect consumers. First, determining when and how to notify the public, relying on the advice of our experts that we needed to have a plan in place as soon as we announced. 2, helping consumers by developing a website and staffing up a massive call centers and offering free services to every American. 3, preparing for increased cyber attacks, which we're advised are common after the notice of a breach. And finally, number 4, continuing to coordinate with the FBI and their criminal investigation of the hackers and notifying other federal and state agencies. In the rollout of our remediation program, mistakes were made, for which, again, I am deeply apologetic. I regret the frustration that many Americans felt when our websites and call centers were overwhelmed in the early weeks. It's no excuse, but it certainly did not help that 2 of our larger call centers were shut down for days by Hurricane Irma. Since then, however, the company has dramatically increased its capacity, and I can report to you today that we've handled more than 420 million consumer visits to our website, and the wait times at our call centers have been dramatically reduced. At my direction, the company offered a broad package of service offerings to all Americans, all of them free, to help protect consumers. In addition, we developed a new service that will be available January 31st, 2018, that will give all consumers the power to control access to their credit data by allowing them to lock and unlock their credit files whenever they want, for free and for life. Putting the power to control access to data in the hands of the American consumer, I'm looking forward to discussing this tool with you in detail during my testimony. As we've all painfully learned, data is a national security problem. Putting consumers in control of their credit data is a first step towards a long-term solution to the problem of identity theft. But no single company can solve the larger problem on its own. I believe we need a public-private partnership to evaluate how to best protect American consumers' personal data ongoing. I look forward to being a part of that dialogue. Chairman Crapo, Ranking Member Brown, and the honorable members of the committee, thank you again for inviting me to speak before you today. I'll close again by saying how sorry I am about this breach. On a personal note, I want to thank the many hardworking and dedicated people who have worked with me so tirelessly over the last 12 years. Equifax is a very good company with thousands of great people trying to do the right thing each and every day. I know that they will continue to work tirelessly, as we have over the past few months, to right this wrong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, you recently discussed the need to give consumers control of their own data. Yesterday, you said it's time we change the paradigm, give the power back to the consumer to control who accesses his or her credit data. It's the right thing to do. But we are far from that reality today with credit bureaus. First, what needs to be changed to give consumers this power?
Mr. Chairman, the start is this product we're introducing, which will come out in January next year, which gives the consumer the ability to control who and when accesses the credit data. It'll be a simple tool, web-enabled, on an application that the consumer can simply dictate who gets access, who does not. And if he or she wants to go to a bank to get a credit card or a car loan, they simply can toggle on, open the access for the to look at the credit file. Once complete, toggle it off, and it's secure.
And it seems to me if that solution works, that is a solution or a part of the solution with regard to other private sector actors or illegal actors. What about the government? Does the Federal Reserve or the CFPB have access to your data, to Equifax's data?
Sir, Mr. Chairman, if a consumer locks their, at the consumer level, is that the question? If the consumer locks their file, they lock out anyone's access to that data.
So you are not in a position of being required by any federal agency to provide this personally identifiable data to that agency?
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure I understand the question. If a consumer locks their file to prevent access to their file from any other bank or telecommunications company, they would be the only ones who could unlock that file. We could not unlock that file on their behalf, if I understand the question correctly.
Even if asked by a government agency as opposed to an inquiring bank?
I'd have to check that.
All right, thank you. I would appreciate that.
Thank you.
In the hearing yesterday, you mentioned that we may need to think about how secure Social Security numbers really are, and if they are really the best identifier going forward for consumers. Could you give us your thoughts on that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I worry the fact that Social Security numbers have been out there since 1936 and used to be on our driver's license and used in our employer. You talk to many cybersecurity experts, and they say the vast majority of all SSNs have already been compromised. I'm in no way skirting the issue of the horrific breach that we had. It was horrific. And I once again apologize to this committee and to all Americans, but I would encourage a dialogue to talk about what identify individuals, something beyond the SSN.
Do you have any ideas as to what that might be? What could we effectively transfer into?
I do not, but I would love to be part of that dialogue, the combination of public-private partnership with academia to think about that. There's a lot of thinking going on right now. I'm sure with the right thought and priority, we could crack that code.
All right, thank you. There have been some issues and confusion relating to the product you just discussed and services that Equifax has offered in light of the breach. Some of my constituents have said they're having trouble gaining access to the remediation products being offered. What exactly are customers being offered today, and what do they need to do to obtain these products and services?
Thank you. We're offering 5 different services for free, and to repeat, this is to all Americans, not just the victims of the criminal attack. Number 1, it is a 3-bureau monitoring where you can monitor activity against your credit file from ourselves, TransUnion, and Experian. 2 is the ability to lock the file. Number 3 is the ability to scan the dark web on behalf of the consumer looking for Social Security activity that might occur. Number 4 is access to our file for free. And number 5 is an insurance product that helps recoup costs up to $1 million if a consumer has cost in trying to fight, repair their credit. So those are the 5 services we offer today.